Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to tonight's episode of Dogman Stories, Episode 9, Part 2, Unnatural Dogs. God bless his heart, child. He saved your life more than once. You just didn't know it. I didn't know it. I had no idea that these things almost got me more than one time. Looking back now, if we did not have that dog, I would have died back in the early 90s, just like them kids talked about in the Missing 411 books. It's hard to think that I could have been grabbed by what I thought was a werewolf and not even had known it until it bit my face off. I always thought they were just in the movies, but now I realize they do exist. Dogman, dogmen, werewolf, man-wolf, it's all the same to me. Big, hairy, scary creatures that want to eat me or just kill me for the hell of it. I ask myself every day how many people actually have been seen by these creatures, but did not see the creature. I would be willing to bet a lot of us. It's amazing that we think we know what's out there, but in reality, we really don't. Many don't believe until they see it, and sometimes it's too late when they do, and many refuse to believe it. But one day it will be known to the world that the dogman is alive and doing quite well for itself, and will probably be on top of the predator's list. I want to thank all the Dogman fans for tuning in tonight and listening to this wonderful lady's story. She has a great point. How many of us have actually been seen by a dogman or near a dogman and we didn't even know it? That's crazy to think about. Probably one or two out of every 20 people, maybe that's just a guesstimate, have actually been seen by a dogman and didn't even know it was right beside of them or watching them, perhaps. I want to thank you guys for listening to the rest of the show. I'm sorry it was only 2 minutes, but I couldn't fit it into the other video that I did. But I would also like to bring out a story that we have all the way from Mountain City, Tennessee, girl and boys. Hello, my name is Katrina. I'm located in Mountain City, Tennessee. Mountain City is a small town in Johnston County, Tennessee, with a population of about 2,500 people, which is good for here, but nothing like the big city. However, it's so beautiful here, especially in the fall. Between the leaves and the trees and the sights of the mountains, I moved up here back in 2010 for the beauty and never wanted to leave until November of 2015, that is. Now I can't get the hell out of here fast enough. Back in November, I had taken up hiking in an area called Doe Mountain. I usually go with friends and go off trail exploring. We had did this many times and always had a plan to find our way back. We tied neon green rope around the trees and always had a compass. Getting lost was never the problem. We always felt like someone or something was watching us, and we always had an eerie feeling. It's hard to explain, but it scared us just to feel that way. They always say, trust your gut. Well, 2 days before Thanksgiving, we had set out for an all-day hiking adventure in the same area. We had learned that area very well, practiced many survival skills, so if we needed it, we would be prepared. And I packed enough water for the both of us for a week. Sometimes I get a little too thirsty. So we were good to go, and we were smoking hot in our camo gear with our hats on. So we parked in our normal spot, locked up the truck, and took off. At this time it was about 6:45 in the morning. The sun was almost ready to come up, but we still couldn't see all the way yet. We had our headlamps on, and I had this crazy idea to buy $100 flashlight that claims to be so bright it can blind a bear. I don't care about blinding a bear. I just really wanted a bright flashlight. And it was actually very bright. So we wasn't worried about not being able to see. I had that covered. We didn't carry guns. Neither one of us liked guns, so that wasn't a necessity. However, that opinion would soon be changed. We had made it through the day without any problems as usual. For some reason, every time we got to this specific area, we always had this creepy feeling. I never understood why. It didn't look scary, it was just the vibe that the place put off. We had ventured out a pretty good ways that day, and daylight was over probably about 5:30 in that time of the year. So we decided to head back to the truck. It was almost 4 o'clock, and it would take about an hour and a half at a decent walking speed to get back to the truck. But basically, we had made a huge circle starting with the truck, and we went all the way around for miles, and we would end with the truck. That was the plan, and it was going great. As we were walking back, we were chatting and laughing, women stuff. And I don't know how long it had been like that, but we noticed everything was quiet, creepy quiet. We ignored it and just kept on going. I was walking and yapping, and I don't know why, but I looked up and screamed. There it was, 20 feet up in a tree right over our heads. This creature was a monster, like a bear, a wolf, a man, an alien hybrid. I had had stories before on my computer of a dogman creature, but I never paid any mind to it until now. I stared forever. It stared right back. We were still a half a mile from the truck, and we didn't have guns. We were both scared to death, and all we could do was walk. So we did, slowly, trying not to make it think we were prey. It was horrifying. It followed us the entire time, leaping from tree to tree, sometimes sliding halfway down as if it lost its balance. It seemed to stay right there with us, making low growls and heavy breathing. I remember seeing the bottom of its foot once. It was odd. It had feet, deformed looking, but they were feet. Some mega claws on there, too. I was scared it was going to fall out of the tree and be mad at us for it. It would slide down a ways when it jumped from tree to tree and climb back up real fast. We could finally see the truck from where we were at, and it was getting dark. We both had been crying all the way there. We didn't know what else to do besides walk. All we really had was rope and water. I could see me giving it some water and trying to strangle it with a rope. Shit, this thing would have sliced my throat open with its claws. I sent in a photo of the way its hands and claws look, but I'm not a good drawer, so I'm sorry if anybody doesn't realize what it is. I remembered my flashlight. Blind a bear. I wonder. My friend looked at me. Let's not piss it off. You blind it, then it's going to come down here and be on the ground with us. She had a point. The closer we got to the truck, the darker it got. The darker it got, the more noises we heard. I turned my flashlight on. I just kept it in front of me and continued to walk. I didn't shine it nowhere near that creature. I fumbled with my pack as I got closer to the truck and got my keys out. We were 50 feet from that truck. We wanted to run so bad. We had made it this far. Let's just continue as we are. It was still making a lot of noise up there, and I heard some scratching on the wood. Only it was on ground level, it sounded like. As I turned my head, my lamp lit the area with glowing eyes. Holy shit! It reminded me of cats when you shine lights at cats, how their eyes glow green or yellow. The same way, but a lot bigger. A lot bigger. Oh gosh! There's one in the tree and there's one in the ground. I think the one in the tree is the baby. And that one's probably its mama. Oh gosh. And by that time, we heard a roar from hell. We were 10 feet from that truck, and I hit the unlock button, and we ran like hell. We made it inside, and we closed the door, and right when we got the door closed and looked at the window, there they were, at the window, breathing on the glass, with their noses crinkled like they were pissed. And there was two of them. I started the engine while they stared at us. They looked like bodybuilders with hair and fangs. They reminded me of Hugh Jackman and Van Helsing, with the hair and the nose and the teeth, but more muscular and skinny long fingers with probably 3-inch claws, it seemed like. When my headlights came on, I seen so many sets of eyes in the woodline. It was crazy. How have I not seen or heard of these before now? We've been out here every day for the past month. We were scared, crying and screaming and yelling at each other. I heard something. That's nails on the truck. That little creep from the trees was scratching my truck up. I shined the light on it with my flashlight. It freaked the hell out. Oh shit, let's go. All of them were howling as we drove off. I counted 13 sets of eyes, not including the two next to the truck and the little prick in the tree. 13 sets of eyes. I only seen 13 eyes. I didn't see 14 eyes, which was very odd. Maybe one of them had an eye out. Who knew? There were dog men or women, probably both. So I encountered dog men and dog women. Since that day, I've told a few people. I learned from the old timer that the pack, that's what he calls them, migrated from Michigan or Ohio all the way down here to Tennessee. And then they go down to Mississippi or Alabama. But he claims they stay between Kentucky and Alabama in the mountains, and he thinks a few of them actually come up from Tennessee. He said there were only 3 at first, and now there's about 23 of them. Holy shit, 23 dog men running around out in the mountains? Now I see why so many goes missing on the trails. The Appalachian Trail is the most famous around here and over in North Carolina, and it's not far from me. I used to love hiking. Now I do not dare go out in them woods. I used to love it here, but now I can't get out of here quick enough. Between you and I don't think my encounter is over. Somehow, some way, I think they have tracked me back to my home. I seen glowing eyes on the side of the road the other night on my way home from work. I was sick, so I came home early that night. I usually work third shift, so I'm not home during the night and I sleep during the day. I believe my job hours are what is saving my ass for now. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight, and I want to apologize for not getting this show up sooner. The internet here has been crazy, and I haven't been able to do anything. It made me so angry. Wow, guys, that is crazy and freaky at the same time. Katrina, I wish you and your friend the best of luck, and I hope you stay safe. Contact us anytime over here. We'd love to hear from you. We loved your story, and I usually don't say this, but I hope your encounter or your story is over for your sake. Good luck to you, girl. Thank you, Katrina. Thank you, Zarina, for sending in your stories. And I hope you all have a good night, and thank you for listening to Dogman Stories, Episode 9, Part 2. Tune in next week to see who wins the $50 gift card. It might just be you.